heading to the gun range. We're gonna take a couple of shots on the new gun. Joe's gonna meet us there. Should be quite fun. What's up, everyone? Today we are reviewing the Sky Industries 9mm gun CPX2, which is a second generation. And so it was my wife's birthday, and I went to buy her a gun, and I ended up buying two because I really liked it. That's why you guys can see the images of the boxes. I have to say that out of all the guns that I've seen, these guns bring the least protective kind of boxes so far. But then again, you do get a lot of savings for the price of the gun. I am going to talk about the quality and things of that sort in a minute, but mainly I want to focus on the boxes right now. As you can see, that's the boxes, and they're not that big. There's only enough room inside for what it actually comes in them. They are not rugged whatsoever. Actually, I dropped one of the boxes when I bought them, and you can see on the top right corner that the actual cover got somewhat damaged. So definitely don't expect a lot of protection for your gun out of those boxes. In any case, it's got a nice logo and everything else, but ultimately it's just a box. So let's talk a little bit about what's inside. Inside you got your gun, you have the lock, it comes already attached to it. It comes with the keys, the replacement bottom for the magazines. If you have small hands, you do not need to use that angle bottom magazine, so therefore you can change that. And it comes with an extra magazine. The gun is really lightweight, very, very comfortable, and definitely I was expecting a lot more weight from the gun, considering that it is ultimately a handgun. I have held heavier handguns, and I am going to admit that whenever I went to the range to shoot the gun, I was expecting to have a lot more trouble while shooting, trying to hold on the recoil, but I have to say that it was relatively easy. Quality of the gun is amazing, not to say the least. It has lifetime warranty for the gun. So that means that if you buy it and you give it as a gift, the warranty goes with the gun. Same thing as if you buy it and you sell it, the warranty goes with the gun. It is full warranty, meaning that you can return it for any reason whatsoever. Anything can happen to the gun. You can drop it, you can have a malfunction, whatever. They will repair it and send it back to you as fast as possible, even if that means having to send you a brand new gun. This gun has a 500 shot break-in period, and I have to say, so far I am really, really happy with my purchase. So far I have shot 100 rounds this past Saturday. You will see a little video, and then we're going to talk about what happens in the video. But after 100 shots, the gun only got stuck once, and I am pretty sure that it had to do with the fact that it wasn't very lubricated. This coming weekend, I'm going back to the range and I'm going to test it again, and I will give up some updates when it comes to that. But in any case, let's talk about the shooting. There you can see my friend Joe shooting, and then ultimately I'm going to take a couple of shots. This gun has a tendency of, after shooting, it doesn't just recoil up, but it also recoils to the right side. And after the shooting, I am going to show our targets, what happened to them, and you will see that most of the shots of our first target were all on the right side. It takes a couple of shots for you to get used to, but finally, eventually, you end up figuring out how far left you have to go, and also how far up to deal with the recoil, and that tends to solve the problem.
Live, last round's yours.
Mind you that this range that we went, the background is pretty dark, so it's really hard to tell as to where your bullet is going unless you're actually hitting the target, which the first couple times you're shooting, you know, not always you will hit the target as to you don't know how far or how big the recoil is. You don't know if it aims, if it's going to end up pushing you towards one side or not. So you really don't know much when it comes to the gun until you actually shoot it.
Yeah, I already got me.
But once you start shooting the gun, it becomes really comfortable. Second nature, I would say. It is really easy to hit, and it's just a matter of practicing, really. The gun is very, very reliable, the way I see it. It doesn't have any major problems. I like the comfortability of having that second magazine already included with it, and to just have them loaded and be able to swap magazines at will. And it's a very, very comfortable weapon. I think it's reliable too. So now let's take a look at the targets. All right. So on the first image, you can see that most of the shots went to the right side. We were still trying to adjust to the center, but then again, most of the shots were towards the right. Also, we started aiming low to try to see how far the recoil will take us up. You can see some of the shots of the first picture way, way on the bottom. And then as we started with that, we started going up and try to see how far that will take us. Now, it is funny because on the second image, you can actually see that we didn't take that many shots, but still, we were able to have fun with it. I do have to say that out of all the shots I took, I didn't leave, feeling any kind of wrist pain or anything like that. It was very, very easy to handle. And I don't know. I actually don't know how to describe a gun in a better way than, if you want quality for your buck, this is definitely the gun you should buy. I mean, obviously, you have to be aware that it won't come in a fancy box like a Glock would, but this is a real good gun, especially for my wife that she's just starting to shoot and whatnot. She doesn't need something as expensive or as big name as a Glock. With this is perfectly fine. Now, looking at the next picture, which is this very same picture, you can see that at the last rounds, the last couple shots we took, we were actually hitting center. I do have the marked spots where we were hitting, and actually those 3 shots that you can see were my shots, and pretty much those 3 were actually after I figured out how far left the gun was actually pushing me and how far down. Again, it's not something you get to figure out real fast unless you can see where the bullets are going, and at first it's really, really hard, especially with that dark background. But if you have any way to make your target bigger or whatever, or make it lighter, the background of the target, and you can start seeing where you're missing, then you can start adjusting at that point. I recommend strongly to try to have a very light background or something that helps you discern as to where your bullets are going. Obviously, once you figure it out, what's going on, what's what, where you're shooting, recoil and all that is really, really easy to hit. You don't need to be super strong to hold a gun. And I'm hoping not to have any problems, but I kind of would like to meet somebody that has had problems with these guns to talk a little bit about a warranty, because so far all the research I have done, I'm yet to find somebody that has spoken ill about these guns or about the warranty. It is definitely a very, very affordable gun, great for somebody that just starts. Anyway, this coming weekend I'm hoping I get to go with my wife to the range. Otherwise we may have to wait because our parents are going out of town and we're not going to have anybody to watch our kids. But if we do go, I'm very excited about sharing the results of her shooting, my shooting, and see how it changes from the first time that you actually shoot the gun to, a couple times after. Anyway, do you guys know this gun? Do you guys have owned this gun at all? Do you know anybody that has one? Do you like this gun? Do you have anything whatsoever to add to this? If you do, please comment below, like the video, and definitely let me know what you think. Well, see you guys later.